check your time, 26 minutes after 10 a.m. And we are about to move into other discussions here on the show. Showbiz Agenda live on Xylophone FM 102.1. Panji Anoff is here with us. He is going to be speaking at the Music in Africa conference. That is where you and we can feed from. So let's get to Panji to get more information on this. Panji, welcome to our studio.
Charles, I'm good to be here.
I know, right? Long
time.
I only see you doing your things. This man is still young.
Luta continua.
Luta continua. That is very true. Are you still working with Kina Isoba?
Yeah, yes. I'm actually in the middle of recording his new album now.
Okay.
His last two albums, I left it a little bit more for the European producers to do. Also, I mean, it's just also it helps Isoba to grow, but I have to be honest and say that even though it was interesting, I think Isoba and we both realized that really when it comes to the music, we need to do more of the work and the recording here in Ghana between myself and himself. So really, it's not about the studios or the engineers. Isoba and myself, we've worked together for a long time, almost 20 years, and so even though I wanted to see what will happen, okay, if he works with the European producers, I realized that actually the job, there's a lot of it I have to do myself because
here in Ghana.
Yeah, I understand him, and if he plays me a song, I have a strong feeling for it. So after two albums where, let's say, I handed responsibility over a little bit, with this new album which we are working on now, which is for next year.
Okay.
I'm doing most of the album myself again.
Okay.
I mean, I always work with other producers. Me, I'm not I try to work with as many people as possible. I believe two heads are always better than one. But let's say in terms of taking, let's say, overall responsibility, I think, yes, I need to do that again with
I see. So what it means that the position itself is the executive producer of Kina Isoba's music?
Well, yes, I've always been the executive producer, but I think being the technical producer is actually more important. So perhaps when Isoba and I started working, I had to be the executive producer. Really, I don't have to be. Isoba is now quite a rich man, you know.
I see.
He can executive produce himself, but really it's about the technical production and, you know, choosing the songs and even deciding which songs to record. There are over 100 songs that I know Isoba has, which we haven't recorded yet. So which one do we choose to go on the next album? And even I've told him he better start dashing people some songs because we'll never record all his songs before we die.
I see.
You know, it's not it's not physically possible. I know one of my heroes, which is Black Chinese. He has 100 and something albums, but
that is Adolfo.
Adolfo, Adolfo, his music is so much. I don't know how one man wrote so many songs, but
Isoba is also a challenge.
Isoba is also like that, where he has so many songs he's written.
I see. Now, not long ago, I heard Isoba in an interview, I think on one of the Despite platforms, on NIT FM, saying that in this song, what really he was saying is, I want to see you, my father, and not I want to see you, my father. I don't know if you can also add your voice to that debate.
I mean, in fact, originally the song was, I want to sue you, my father, in court. I want to sue you, my father, in court. So that's how Isoba originally sang the song. So it's me who removed the in court from it. Because I didn't think it was necessary. It didn't add anything to the song. And if I come home and I hear my child singing, I want to sue you, my father, you know, I won't respond to it positively. So, I mean, sure, it's a coincidence. Isoba pronounces sue and she, it's all the same. But, so, I mean, that too was convenient, but let's say it's a decision I made as his technical producer or as his producer to remove in court from the song.
Okay.
And allow the meaning or the song to be "I want to see you, my father." But actually, it's true. It's not "I want to see." It's "I want to see you." Because if you listen to the lyrics, he's talking about his father,
an irresponsible father.
An irresponsible father, yes. Who has money for his girlfriend but no money for his child. So, but I mean, changing it from "I want to see you, my father" to "I want to see you, my father," to me, just made the music more. It's easier to eat. So there's like some food, maybe let's say rice water. Rice water is easy to eat. Any child can eat rice water, but maybe if it is some big heavy rice balls or something, it's not so easy to eat. Our job in a way is to make something as easy to eat.
So you just allowed it, though people were writing "I want to see you, my father," you just allowed it, let it go.
I also wrote it as "I want to see you, my father."
I see.
So
okay, so that information clear now.
Yes, it is true. It is. I don't regret it.
Okay.
I think it's a good thing because if you listen to the song, you understand what the song is about. Whether he's saying "I want to see you" or "I want to see you," and also in some ways, it's like we were saying earlier. If in our culture, if we have a problem, you can call family members, you can sit down and you can discuss it. Court is not always the best solution. If I have a problem with somebody and I decide to go to court, who knows, I might be in court 10 years, 20 years, 30 years time. Whereas if we actually sit down, maybe we can solve the matter right here, right now. So even though that is how you originally wrote it, personally, I don't think if I have a problem with my father, court is the best place to go and solve it. Maybe we can solve it. Maybe I can call my father's brother or his sister or some uncles or some aunts. So if I have a problem with my father, I want to see him also. So, nothing is lost.
I get it. Now, what is Panji's love for some particular artists? And I can mention Yapono. Can mention One Love and his brother Mensah. I hear you love these boys to the bone.
Well, I think I love honesty. And honesty is a very important part of art. If somebody is doing something and they themselves like it, even if you've never heard of it or it doesn't make sense to you, if you see somebody doing something and they are enjoying it, it will encourage you to consider it. It looks more appealing to you. So I think with an artist, if you are being honest and you are being forthright and you are expressing an idea in your head without fear, I think it's a very powerful artistic statement. So I think One Love, Mensah, Yapono. I remember when I met Yapono, he said, he wants to do underground music, but he wants to play his underground music but become a mainstream artist. And I said, well, it will be difficult, but it's possible. So if you say you want to continue making, let's say, underground music or street music, ghetto music, which, there are many forms of music which, like Jama, or, me, I grew up in Burma camp. Soldiers, they sing Jama every day. Very vulgar, very dirty songs. It's a part of their culture. That's what they used to march. That's what they used to do everything. And that kind of music has a place. It belongs in the barracks. It belongs in the bars. It belongs in the jungle when they are doing their operations. So that form of music will always be there. That kind of Jama will never go away. But we are not going to hear it on the radio. We are not going to see it on TV. It's not popular in that sense. So I felt that with what Yapono wanted to do, which is really take something similar to, Jama, which is street music, and try and take it to the mainstream. I thought that, it was an interesting concept. You don't want to play pop music, but you want to see how far you can go. And I like that kind of honesty too in Yapono because he has been very consistent with
whatever he's
doing. And I'm very happy to see his success. He's in today's Monday, so Saturday he had the show in Amsterdam.
Wow.
Even just watching. As for One Love and Mensah, they cannot sit in one place for more than a week or two. They have a show here, they have a show here, and their shows are all over the place. you'll be Korea, Japan,
the places you will not even expect them to perform.
Serbia and Montenegro. I mean, really far. I mean, far
Azerbaijan.
places. So it's Azerbaijan, yes. Aisabatu has played Azerbaijan.
Oh, Aisabatu has played them before.
China. I mean, the show he played in China, I saw a photograph. There was a huge building, but the whole side of the building. I mean, let's say a building bigger than this. What is this? The tallest building in Ghana now, just right down there. Villaggio.
Okay.
So a building like Villaggio, and the whole side of it is a screen, and Isoba's face covering the whole building.
Wow. That was in China.
In China, dear. When it comes to LED screens, dear Charlie,
they are the best. I know. Now, Panji. Before we go into the Access Conference, I know your experience in our music business in terms of production and all that. This question is broad. What is the state of our music industry? Where are we?
Well, I think we are better than where we were maybe 25 or 30 years ago when I started. Really, it was around 92, 93. I think that I started putting a lot of my energy into music in Ghana. So it has become much better. It has become much better because I can say, somebody like Samini or Shatawale or Sarkodie or even the
new ones.
Yes, even some of the newer artists, whether it's Darko Vibes or B for Bona or Kwesi Arthur or they can make a decent living. They are okay. 25 years ago, I can assure you that when it was Obrafour's time, there wasn't really that much money in this business. It's
is that really the
were
case?
Struggling to buy houses.
But at that time, rather, I thought that they were even getting front money from producers even before you go to the studio to record your album. Despite or any of the producers, they have bought it in advance for you.
Well, that actually was more for maybe artists like Lumba or
Foriamponsa,
Achampong, and some of the hip life artists also.
They also enjoyed it, yeah.
Yes, but
during the Goodies Ajikot era.
The Goodies Ajikot era was simply visa racketeering. So really, we can't use that as same formula, So and I mean that was an expensive mistake for our music industry because Goodies and Ajikot came to create a system which was fueled by visas and not by music. So if a producer like me is trying to get my revenue from sales or from touring sales, or from shows. How do I compete with somebody who is selling visas? Because when you are selling visas, dear Charlie, the money is quick and fast, So I think it was an expensive mistake for our industry because as an artist, it is very, very important that you can always travel to wherever your services are needed. So if you involve yourself in some visa connection and it goes bad, and then now for the next 10 years or for the next however many years, you cannot travel to go to where you need to go and do your job, then you're in trouble. So I think that the industry is in a much better state now. Sure. Visa racketeering, dear, there's some going on all the time. Some people specialize in it.
You think that has costed us some level?
I think it cost us then. Now the music industry is actually fueled more from live performances and also whether we like it or not. Streaming, the revenue might be small compared to physical sales, but it's easy to track. If your music is on a platform, if you are entitled to $121 every 3 months or 6 months, it's easy. You can just take your phone or go online, look at your streams, look at your sales. So I actually think it is easier for artists to make money directly themselves. You don't need a big record label. You don't need a big company. If your music is good, you put it online, you will get your streams, you will get your downloads. If you are selling it on iTunes or whatever, you'll get your sales. So I think we are in a better place now than we have been. Perhaps globally, the music industry is suffering from the sales, and sales have dropped. Let's say sales of music have dropped, but streams have increased. So, I think our artists now in 2019 are in a better place than they were in 99 or even in 2009. You know, it's our industry. Well, the whole country is growing. So, you know, Ghana, we are in a constant state of growth. So I think our industry has grown. The fundamental problems which have been there since the 90s, you know, why does artist music get played on the radio and they are not paid? You know, how can a country like Ghana not track, you know, the use of music on radio stations in 2019 is totally preposterous. Togo has been doing it. I remember I produced a song for a Togolese group, and this was maybe 2001. After 6 months, we got 50 million in those days. And that is money from
royalties.
Royalties, yes, from the song being played on the radio.
Even you, the producer?
Yeah, I mean, we split it between us.
Okay.
I was the executive producer.
Okay,
and
good.
Also, I mean, I was the producer of the song, but I mean, I put that album out on my label.
Okay.
Even though it was a Togolese group. And I was amazed to find that just 6 months down the line, sure, they had one hit, but to make 50 million CDs, when this is at most 2001 or 2002. At that time,
wow,
there was no Ghanaian artist who was getting 50 million CDs
in 6 months from music.
Yeah, from copyright. And you think Togo, this small, excuse me to say, small fucking country. You know, that's how we Ghanaians think of it, that, oh, this small little tiny country here. And yet they have been organized in areas where Ghana and Nigeria are the countries with, you see, it's all the Anglophone countries, Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Sierra Leone. In all of these countries, the copyright system doesn't work. In all the French-speaking countries, their system works 100%.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah, and the French want it to work that way because that small 10 or 15 or 20% that the French will chop from that money is still ending up in France, but they made sure the system works. So why we in Ghana cannot get a system working is a disgrace. Nobody wants this. Those who are collecting the money don't want the system to work. Because if the system is not working, they can be chopping the money. So this one, why can, and one copyright society after another. Since I have been back in Ghana 20 years, and 20 years every day, new person comes, new one goes. This one, Kalosechi will come, you say this man was a thief. Then Rexoma will come, you say Kalosechi was a thief. When Rexoma is gone, the next person too will come and say Rexoma is a thief. But none of them have made any attempt to solve the problem. And it is a disgrace because if Shatta Wale's song is played 1 million times in the course of a year, if there is, and throughout that whole year, only 2 million songs were played, if the copyright revenue is $1 million, Shatta Wale is entitled to half of it because half of the music that was played was his music. So if Shatta Wale is entitled to half of that $1 million, that's $500,000 for him. Somebody else might be entitled to $1 or $2 because that's how much his music was played. But the fact that we cannot have an efficient system or a working system in Ghana in 2019, for me, is just a disgrace. It's just a disgrace. And it shows, it's one of these cases where, it's like ministers. This government, Mahama has too many ministers. But when MPP came, they simply increased the number of ministers. So it's the same with our copyright. It's the same. One person comes, but when they come, they are coming to do worse than the ones before them. So it's just on that side. And really, a lot of an artist's money should come from his intellectual property, his copyright, his needle time, his this. So, I mean, people make a living from that. So the fact that Ghanaian artists don't have that at all is a shame. But at least revenue from shows is increasing. It's it's decent. If you can play one show and make enough money to buy one car or half a car, actually, that's good revenue.
Now, some people are taking more than 100,000 for gigs.
That's what I'm saying. You can buy a car with your revenue from one show. Believe you me, Obrafour and TikTok, when in the 90s, massive as they were, your revenue from the show can't even pay your dropping to go home. So it's better. Talk to people like TikTok and Obrafour who have been in the business for a long time. They will say things have got better. It's easier now to be a living, working, professional musician than it was then.
I see. Great in-depth knowledge shared by Panji Anof. Now let's come to the business of the day. The business of the day is part of the reasons why you and we need to start writing our notes now. There is going to be a Music in Africa conference where the knowledge or the experience being shared by Panji, he is going to even expatiate it on the day of the event. Now, Panji, what is this Music in Africa conference all about?
Well, for a long time, African music, a lot of the infrastructure around it has actually been in Europe. It has not been here in Africa. So what the Music in Africa conference has done is try and move that focus from, Womex or WOMAD or all these big African music events that take place in Europe and bring the focus here to Africa. So, there are many industry professionals coming from all over the world, not just Africa, but, North America, South America, Brazil, China, everywhere. And there will also be a lot of bands from Africa who are also part of this event. So, by trying to bring the focus of our, let's say, global African music industry back onto the continent is, for me, is an important step, because it is the industry infrastructure is like colonialism. It comes from the colonial countries, the colonial masters, yes. Mm-hmm. But the more we can take control of that, the more we define the narrative, the better, and the better things will happen for us, and the quicker things will grow. So the Music in Africa conference really is just trying to give Africans access to the infrastructures that make the wheels turn. Mm-hmm. So there are booking agents coming from all over the world. Some of them organize festivals in Australia. They are looking for artists. They are looking for people they can connect with, people that they can invite to their events over the next 2 or 3 or 5 years. It's a slow process, because let's say with me trying to get Isobar onto the European touring circuit, it took us maybe 4, 5, 6 years before he had a lot of shows in Europe every year. And now, I think to some extent,
he's been accepted.
Yes, we are happy with Europe. So last year, Isobar is now starting to work on North America, so Canada and the United States. Again, it will take us like 3-4 years. In the beginning, you do smaller shows. Sometimes you don't take the whole band, but you introduce yourself, and then you get more and more and more bookings. So 2020, he has a US tour. But really, it is work that we've done between 2018 and now. So
something you've even booked now? The 2020 US tour, it is something you've confirmed and booked now?
Charlie, these things, you book them like 1 year, 2 years in advance.
Wow.
So, it's the only thing you can't do is you can't chop the money in advance. But things are set in stone, because people are publicizing maybe an event for August 2020 now. If it's a festival or it's a music event, so they also want to confirm that, okay, if King Isobar is coming, they know so we will have confirmed that. Really, sometimes 18 months in advance.
I see.
So
now I'll come back to what is so special about King Isobar that he seems to be getting all these gigs. But then to the Access Music Conference. Mm-hmm. So who are the organizers of this event proper?
Well, Access is a Pan-African organization. So let's say somebody like me, I am a board member. Okay. But they have board members in Morocco, board members in Senegal, board members in Nigeria, board members in Congo, board members in Zimbabwe, board members in South Africa. Eddie Hitai is I would say, is at the head of the organization. So he's originally Zimbabwean, but based in South Africa. So he worked with international funding bodies to start the infrastructure. So far, access has taken place in Kenya.
Okay.
And every year, the event takes place in a different country.
Okay.
So this year it's in Ghana, which means it is easiest for Ghanaian musicians and artists to take part. So, I mean, there are a lot of Ghanaians taking part, but next year when it is in Congo, Congolese artists will also have an advantage because it's taking place in their backyard.
I see.
So it moves to a different country every year.
Every year. What would be the advantage for our industry now that we're going to have this conference coming to Ghana? The advantage for musicians like Sarkodie, Shatawale, and even the new artists, those who are even up and coming. What would be the advantage of them being part of the Access Music Conference?
Well, there are going to be industry professionals from all over the world. Over 200 people are attending. And all of them are, let's say, important links in the countries and the environments that they come from. So, I mean, if you are interested in touring globally, or you are interested in playing shows around the world, touring doesn't only mean Europe. There are plenty of shows in Africa that our artists can also attend. So it's an advantage for us because all these people are coming here and we can engage with them. We can learn from them. We can understand how their structures are built. And there will be showcases. There are bands who will be performing. So the bands who are performing, literally, the booking agents are sitting right there watching the show. If they like what they see, they will book you now for 2020 or 2021.
See, so if you get a chance to perform, you might even get some booking for some festivals and some tours.
Unless you sharper, by all means, you'll get some bookings.
Wow!
If you go and but there's nobody who are shared on the lineup. So
I know.
By all means, if you put on a good performance, somebody sees this and thinks, "Wow, I can really see this artist, or I can really see this band performing on my stage." Then that is how bookings happen. So really, nothing convinces somebody more than actually seeing something themselves. So you see a performance and you like it, you can book this artist right here and then.
So what it means is that the team put together all these performers. I think I can see Efias, Samini, Obrafour, Checheku, John Collins, Ebo Taylor, Bibi Brew, One Love, Panji, Yaya. Apart from them being speakers, are they also going to be performing as well?
Well, who I know is performing is Yaya is performing, Fra is performing. So Obrafour is a speaker, Sarkodie is a speaker, and Samini are speakers. But in terms of performances, it is more, you see, what the global circuit wants is they want a band and a performer. So this, our miming shows, dear Charlie, you can't take a miming show to certain stages. So of course somebody like Samini, which I really, really respect, from maybe 10 or 12 years ago, he said, look, if I don't come with my band, I'm not going to do, if you want me to perform, I will come and perform with my band. So I'm not going to come and do a miming show for you, yes. And I think that this is one area where we have not put enough emphasis on the performance. I don't want to go to a show and hear the song exactly as I hear it on the radio.
Or on the CD.
Or on the CD, because if the person is miming, it's just the DJ track one, it really is not
your thing.
Yes, I mean it's we have managed to get away with it, but if our artists want to do shows in Latvia or in Chile or in whatever, Argentina, you need to be there with your band, so that somebody who has never heard the song before, if they see the performance and the performance is good, they will enjoy the song. You can enjoy a song you've never heard before, and it's about the performance. You see the artist, he's doing his thing on stage. So really it's more about performing bands. So I know Checheku's band is performing, and Checheku's band too is very tight. Fra is performing. Them, I've only seen them performing once, but Charlie, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was amazed that we have guys who it's they are developing that art because and so I think bands like that, Charlie, give them 3 years. It's what are these other guys called? Not Senku band.
Ghanaian band.
Yes. Not Dark Suburb. Let me see. What is what is their name?
Okay, Panji.
Oh, they just put out an album. No. It's a high life band, and they've just been touring. They played Europe lots of festivals this summer, and in a short, this is their first album, but bang, because the band is so tight when they're on stage. You see, we have it's like we are failing to realize how beautiful high life music is to somebody who has never heard high life before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a nice high life band and they're on stage, Charlie, with their dynamics and everything, it's like, Pat Thomas is still playing shows all around the world, though. Ebo Taylor is playing global shows because that music is actually very beautiful. High life music is beautiful music. It makes you dance. You know what I mean? It has nice arrangements. So
the strings in there always keep.
Yeah. So I think the potential for Ghanaian music, especially when it is our bands or let's say if it is. Look at Wiala. Look at what Wiala is doing globally. Charlie, it's hard. It's no and. Everybody's saying, Wiala is the new Angelique Kidjo. But, to be honest, I remember Angelique Kidjo when she was Wiala's age. And I think Wiala is better. Yeah, Wiala is better than Angelique Kidjo. Not to say bad about Angelique Kidjo, yes. But that comparison is being made when really I think...
Because she is younger.
And she's harder working. Wiala wasn't playing guitar 2 or 3 years ago. Now, if you see Wiala sitting down and playing her guitar and singing, Charlie, it will blow your mind. And that is, for me, that is a person working hard.
I see. All right. So I want to believe at this stage you are asking yourself, Sammy, how can I be part of this conference? Who knows? If I'm lucky and I also get selected or I get called, I'm going to be performing in some festivals during the summer holidays ahead of us for 2020. So I say kina iso about 2020. Yabuki no dada. Etina kina yonya daji mami. Hey Kin, I asked me momo. Mini papa ne Kin. But Panji, I was asking myself. All these great minds coming to listen to Sarkodie and maybe Obrafour talk about music, what kind of information do they want from them? Because I thought they are rather exposed. They have the information Sarkodie and Obrafour would need. So what is Sarkodie going to tell them? What is Obrafour going to tell them?
You see, everybody's experience is unique. Sarkodie now has been in this business for 16, 15 years, I would say. And in that time, he has a unique perspective of music from a Ghanaian point of view. Because whether we like it or not, if you take a Samini or an Obrafour or a Sarkodie, they have been at the top of the game for a long time. Samini actually 20 years. I remember 99. I was recording with Samini, so 20 years in the game, that's a long time. So it's not only what you have learned, it's your experiences, your mistakes, where you think you could have done it differently. It's always interesting for somebody who doesn't know anything about Ghana or who knows very little about Ghana. You might have a world of experience from Amsterdam or from Paris, but actually meeting with a Ghanaian musician and understanding their perspective and the journey that they have been through is very useful because everybody can always learn. Learning there is not something which you finish doing at some point. As soon as you stop learning, you are dead. Your brain starts dying. So it's actually good to keep trying to learn because it keeps your brain alive. So that's why sometimes you see people and because they've lost the desire to learn, their brain starts becoming slow. And it slows you down. It's like, your brain is a muscle. You've got to keep it. You've got to exercise it just like anything else. So I think in terms of the people coming here, yes, they want to understand the Ghanaian perspective. They want to understand how Sarkodie went about it. How did he, what was his path? What were the decisions that he made? What were the choices that he made, which enabled him to achieve his consistency or his level of success, And the same for somebody like Samini. I know with Samini, his approach may have changed over the last 20 years, but he has been very consistent and focused.
That's true.
Charlie, they have a lot to
share on the day.
Yes.
I see. So who can be part of this? Can I just walk in and first of all, when are we doing this before we even talk about who can be part of this?
The Access Conference, Music in Africa, is from the 28th till the 30th of November.
Okay.
So it's the end of this month.
So 2 days?
3 days.
28 to 30th.
Yeah,
okay.
28, 29, 30th.
Okay.
Anybody who is a Ghanaian or anybody who is an African actually can register online. It's free. There is no fee, but you just have to register. So
until you register, you can't be part of it.
No, you just have to register. So you can just go to www.musicinafrica.net. You can register there. All the events, activities, because apart from the conferences during the day, there are the concerts and performances every night. 2 of them, I believe, will be at Alliance Française. The other one will be at the Gold Coast Hub, the new Gold Coast Bar, Afrikiko area. So there will be the performances in the evening, and then there will be the conferences and the talks and the seminars during the day. There are also some workshops. So if anybody who is interested in the workshops, Kofi Beat Menace will be doing a workshop on music production.
Okay.
Which that one is just some free lessons. So it's anybody who has an interest in the music industry, I would say, this. Yes, this is coming to Ghana once. It won't come again next year. It will be in Congo or in another country, but. Take advantage, look into it, come, attend, speak to people, find out what you can learn. Some of the people are going to be from other African countries. Some of them are going to be promoters in other countries in the world. But, meet the people, speak to them, help yourself get on your own path for success. So, I think it's an opportunity.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it because I think
I know that is your passion.
Oh,
all right, so still more information being shared here on the Music in Africa conference. You have to visit the website now. That is www.musicinafrica.net/access, and you can register to be part of this. In fact, don't miss this opportunity. You don't know what lies ahead of you. You have been doing it, but then you need a bigger stage to even blow. Go ahead, register now. To artist managers who are listening to us, to bloggers, music journalists, and all, you guys all have to be part of this. www.musicinafrica.net/access, and you can be part of this. At this stage, maybe my panel members can now come in. They have some 1 or 2 questions. Kofi Asamoah, Mr. Michael, if you have any question to Panji, you guys can now come through. Let's get all the necessary details before we wrap up for the day. But then from 28th to 30th November, that is when we're going to do this. There will be conferences in the afternoon, and there will be some performances in the evening as well. So there's a party for us. Now, I want to know whether this is also part of the year of return activities. Panji.
At the moment we are in the year of return, so everything is year of return. But my thing though is we shouldn't have a year of return. We should have a decade or a century of return, because this idea of reuniting the diaspora with the motherland really is a huge project, and it is not something which can be done in 1 year. It must be ongoing. It's we shouldn't end this here, and it's not just about the diaspora. Even the Ghanaians who have been locked in some small akuko boom in Holland somewhere for the last 20 years, they should also return. It's we actually, if we don't put our minds and energy and focus on our own country, we will not grow, we will not evolve. So I mean, I think, okay, it's a year of return, but it should be, this year of return should be the beginning of the century of return.
Okay.
So it should be an ongoing issue. It's not that, December comes, no, then we've thrown this idea away. I mean, I know we have worked. There was a Joseph project which Jacob Echibilamte started, which really, I think, planted the seed. And of course, I mean, we can go back to Nkrumah. Nkrumah was bringing Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and W.E.B. Du Bois and all these people to Ghana to achieve something. So, I mean, it should be an ongoing thing. And we should develop beyond this.
Okay, thank you so much, Panji Anof. Let me come back to Mr. Makiona. Guys, quick. Your questions or contribution.
Is the venue for the event, the conference?
Yes, for the venue. Okay, I'm sure he can.
Well, the music events will be at the Gold Coast Hub and Alliance Française, but the conferences and the seminars will be at the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Okay.
Which is also near Alliance Française, just behind Golden Tulip. So, and actually, that place has a really, really nice conference room. I discovered it myself maybe 2 years ago. I didn't realize, and the academy has some. I actually went to see a lecture there by Professor.
John Collins?
No. I'll remember his name in a second, but it was very interesting.
Halifu. One professor came from USA to write about our hip life.
Dr. Halifu Sumari.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, but you see, the thing is, so much of the research which has been done into hip life and the academic study, it hasn't been done by Ghanaians. We Ghanaians, we don't realize that it is important or we should document it. And for that, I give Dr. John Collins a lot of credit, even with High Life. I mean, he has been documenting High Life and, let's say, Nyom Crow and this for the last 20, 30 years, and he's been writing books upon books. But, we need 20 more people like Professor John Collins doing more. It's one man can't do all the everything. Research and background into High Life, and yet we Ghanaians, and I'll include myself, we are sitting down and we are not taking note of how important these things are and that they are worth writing books about. They are worth doing research on, So we will wait. When somebody does something, they will criticize it. But we won't do it ourselves.
Okay, Mr. Makiona.
I see Akon is also coming.
Yes.
He's one of the speakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the speakers, according to my information here, we have Akon, Sarkodie, Efia, Samini, Obrafour. Some of them will performing though. Cheche Ku, John Collins, Ebotela, Bibi Brew, one of the Kubolo, Panji himself, Yaya, Fra Band, the Mukumba from Zimbabwe, the Songhai Blues from Mali, Gato Preto from Mozambique, and Ghana, but based in, and of course it goes on like that. Yeah,
I think it's a good thing. I think it's per what we were discussing earlier, the artists shouldn't just limit themselves to the show, but the business side of it. And I think this one beautiful opportunity they can harness to build their own careers. It's a very good thing, and I'll just urge everybody. I mean, for me,
I know you go.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I know.
We need to understand the business better, and we need to understand the strategies. I'll say I'm a poor manager, but when I start working with somebody, I have a strategy, and I know that Isoba or Yapono, look, this is what we are going to do. Yeah, within 8 years or 10 years,
let's achieve it.
We will achieve this. Sometimes when you say 10 years, yay! 10 years, it sounds so long. But, even I've been working with Yapono for more than 10 years. 10 years, it comes just like this. And I remember I told Yapono, look, what you want to do, it will take us about 10 years. or 9 years. You know, it's not 10 years is nothing. Just sit down.
We are just in a rush.
Have a strategy. Have a plan
and stick
hard. To your plan. Just stick to it. If it might divert small, but just be consistent, and you can be sure you will get there. If you just work hard and you have a strategy. But I think our people also need to understand strategy. So if you're an artist, don't think about next week. Think about 10 years time. Think about 15 years time, 20 years time. It's like, what am I doing to meet my target I have set for myself in 15 years time or in 10 years time? And then
you can hit it.
It becomes much easier to negotiate.
Thank you, Panji. Yes, Kofi. I'm sure, Kofi, I'll pick one from the journalist point of view on this Access conference, and we say goodbye. Our time is up, bro.
Sami, it's a great concept, very beautiful initiative, very enlightening. It's amazing and very surprising why event I saying enya the needed hype and enya the needed promo. Sami, ayana toda medwon ho amentiase chese we no mu nanka ebeboa industry no, but we no mu kra na yempe yemfanya hwe because yenchusuruku because yemba zone 2 because what you say. And it is sad. Even the artista or boy say wo list no so no. Sarkodie conference here can on posty on Instagram.
Yeah, check it. Watch it.
I'm saying it on authority because my check it. Sarkodie on posty. Samini.
Sometime on 28.
Samini post here. Back event Samini was not share the quantum of poster or on those events. First 10 pictures Samini sa event here in event here da ben senior
28
end of this month. It's about 2 weeks away. In fact, about 9 days away. Obrafour and the manager minimum kan on posti kohwe say na Obrafour posti pamuka concert na kohwe say we posti one picture of this event on posti if you are nocturnal if you are nocturnal on posti. But these are big names, sir. Some of us will look up to them, say, Sabi Sarkodie ba, Obrafour ba, Odi Akon on the own post here. Mo ya no monetia. Mo posti because you hamo. Ona me say and the Panji ambetena so kasa. Kasa we kura Panji na so obeka. I was saying Panji be.
He is part of the board of Access.
Yeah. I was saying Panji be say Sarkodie kan wan ka obehu. After a interview, Sanya at the end of the Kofa.
Say Panji na friend Uncle Beba.
Until I was a Panji so free. I was a Panji ma. As some Pana make a woman posting because if you're posting so we posting a sea-based hours. Wait, anything. A posting.
No credit you.
Oh, no posting. And some and oh yes, Sana, you demean the show.
Panji on cast one.
I said, no. Yes, Sana. Na amana koye se
obwa.
Yamana ko memwa o Instagram na kohe. Oh yes, and yamana koye se they are being forced to be on the event, and they are not part of the event because ukohwe Obrafour page na hwe senior pamuka ne concert here obeye senior ni Instagram pamuka baby ah kohwe Sarkodie rapperholic ni oye no Instagram wo enye bete but event we na wonu be kasa che be boy industry sami wan fa shokai for for na
Okay, our time is up. Let me give the chance to the journalist, the music journalist as well. Mr. Che, say, journalist, okay. A man wants to know the site again. I think his name is The Critic on Twitter. He says, please ask Panji to repeat the site again because I'm not seeing Ghana on the page to register. You're not seeing Ghana on the page. Why? You have to register according to your country.
No, you can. Once you can register online and then you.
Because he's saying I don't see Ghana on the page to register. I don't get it. Okay, okay. So guys, let me just mention it. Our time is up. Munyai Kasanempon. www.musicinafrica.net/access. Musicinafrica.net/access. Zakobiche mabi mami sumi mi hwe sebefa. Efa de answer ni pa kuno ohumbo. Abi, odi na bi. Oh, Charlie, mumie baby. musicinafrica.net/access. Mumie baby.
You see, it's a redirect. It's a redirect, so it takes time before it will load the original sound.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
plus I mean, music in Africa. I was also contacted as a blogger to jump on.
Oh, so they've called you. They've invited you, huh?
Eddie, actually, yes. Eddie is a
personal
wow, person.
That's great.
But on
but you two, you've not blogged about it yet since you've been invited as a blogger.
I am currently it's on my blog.
Are you sure?
Yes, even though. Oh, David.
It's on your blog. Are we on your blog? Post. Okay, I'm going to check it.
Go ahead, check it.
The laptop soon I will be.
Oh, Razami.
Okay. Okay, I think mine is also
3 minutes ago.
3 minutes ago. David, no, 3 minutes ago. Update. And I've been posting it on my social media handle.
Okay.
It's just that other side no one. I was saying boy. And yeah, let's let it happen. It's sad that the artist that just asked Kofi actually did his research before speaking. You were trying to doubt him.
And some impact confusion. Yeah.
I was here when he was doing it, so I understood it. It's sad they are not posting it. I was saying
they will post. Post from next week. They will start posting. From next week.
But we don't have to wait for the run-up. Yes, it's sometimes in promotion. Sometimes the run-up it hurts with events like this. It's not a show, as in yes, even though there's a musical concert involved in it, but the main focus.
It's okay. Our time is up. They will post. Mr. Che, have you also registered yet?
No.
As a music journalist, you have to do that because we need you guys to go get the information for us on the day when it matters most. So please get your registration sorted and be part of this. Now, Panji, there are some people who would always want to call for some information. Is there any number like that, any business line like that? Maybe Madam can help us. Kobe, get the number for me. Let's give it to the people because I know no matter what, some people would still want to call. And Panji, that question that I wanted to ask, our time is up though. We have just some 3 minutes. What is it about King Isobe's songs that the people like so much?
Well,
the other day he tells me even the women, some of them they want him to even do things. And I used to papa up and look at his teeth and then he's doing things. King.
I saw a crowd. Do you know how many children he has? I saw the man and Dawson.
What can you not tell me, Panji? What can you not tell me?
Different countries.
What can you not tell me? I said, Sammy, if I go there everywhere, it's just some of them they want me to tell our Tobo King.
Well, you know, when Isoba is on stage, his energy is incredible. Yeah, it's like a dervish. I remember the first time when I met Isoba and he told me, he does music. I said, okay, play me one of your songs. And he just took the thing. The fire that... It's like, I was shocked. It's like, where did he... It's like a light bulb. He has turned on the switch. Because when Isoba talks, his voice will be quiet. Oh, then as soon as he started, I jumped. I didn't know where this... And he can turn it on and off, you know. So it's amazing.
Wow. So that is it. Okay, so I have the number now. Our time is up. If you want to be part of the Access Conference and you want maybe further information, please call 020-2177-936. 020-2177-936. When you call, I'm sure a lady will answer and give you and take you through what you have to do. 020-2177-963. Tell your time, Kofi. Your time, your time, Panji, when can we get you again? Not to talk about Access, but
anytime, Sammy, you there. If you need me, anytime. I'm not even far away.
Good. Because there are other things. The issue of visa issue, that issue, I have interest there. and Kofi, do you know what I have interest there? Exdo just sent me a message. Exdo sent me a message and said, hey, Sammy, what Panji is saying, don't joke with it. Because really, that era, they messed the music industry. Is that Panji is one of the founding members of the industry, knows what he's talking. Ajikot and Goodies, they are the cause of all the problems we have faced.
Well, we shouldn't blame them.
No. time spent with us here. We really appreciate you, and I believe my producer will be checking on you from time to time. So the music conference in Africa, guy Charlie, let's go. Call the number 02021779336 to be part of the team. My name is Sammy Flex. Thanks to all the team members for supporting the agenda today. Tomorrow 7 a.m. let's meet again to do Showbiz Agenda. We out of here. Koloma by Fim Fim. Enjoy.